Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. It's Tuesday, so that means it's time for another Tuesday Talks. Tuesday Talks is a group that I started with my friend Janelle over at Mrs. J. Rod's Reads. Every Tuesday we discuss book-related topics. If you would be interested in checking out the group, I will link to that in the description box below. So for this week's Tuesday Talks, we are discussing reading past enjoyment of a book. And what this means is, if you're not enjoying a book, do you still persevere and keep reading it? And why do you do that? For me, when I really started getting into reading, I would stick with a book. And for me, it was part of that commitment thing. You know, you get invested in the book, and I'm going to finish this book because I want to say this book I read. And so, yeah, for me, it was commitment. I think it really started to change for me once I got on Goodreads and was discovering so many great books that it seemed silly to struggle through a book that I wasn't enjoying. Now, if there's a book that, you know, has a draggy part, maybe a book starts out great and then you go through this dry area of a book, I'll generally keep reading, just hoping that it picks up. If it doesn't pick up right, if it's not good from the start and I'm just having a hard time getting into the book, I don't stick with reading it anymore. Because there's so many good books out there that I could be enjoying. So I just think that it is, I don't know, it's just a waste of time. You know, when you've got a book that you know you're going to like, you know, so, I mean, and you can't just stick to those books you know you're going to like, you know, because I like to venture out and try new books. And I think, you know, if you've been watching my channel, I think you know that I have a hard time with adult fantasy. That is a big deal to me, and I just can't do it. Young adult fantasy is fine. I can read young adult fantasy. I think what it is with adult fantasy is the fact that there's so much to keep track of. There's so many characters, and I just can't wrap my mind around that. So I don't have a good relationship with fantasy, so I try not to read it. If I can get a hold of a young adult fantasy, then I'll read that, because most of those I can generally follow and enjoy. So, you know, I can't just sit here and say, well, I'm just going to read this kind of book because I know I'm going to like this. That seems kind of boring to me too. I like to, you know, reach out and try and read, you know, other books. Another one I have a hard time with is historical, and that's not because there's too much to take in. It's just that sometimes they're draggy and they're boring. So if I can find a good historical, then that's fantastic. That's like a treat. So yeah, I don't anymore. I used to just hang on to a book and just keep trudging through it and, you know, finally finish it. But now, when there's so many great books out there to read, I'm just like, you know what? I give it 50 to 100 pages. If in between those 50 and 100 pages, it's not working for me, it's bye-bye to the book. I even read Game of Thrones till page 300 because everybody kept saying, you know, oh, it's going to get better, you're going to love this. And I just didn't. I just found it confusing and so much to just keep stored. And yeah, it was not enjoyable for me. And I felt like I was doing that commitment thing again. Well, everybody's talking about how great it is. I'm going to read this. I'm going to finish it. And I finally just came to my senses and said, I'm not enjoying this. Why am I still reading it at 300 pages? So yeah, what do you guys do? Do you stick with a book even though you're not enjoying it? Or do you say, with this book, I'm going to read one that I like? Let me know in the comments below and we'll talk about it, guys. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.